What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Whitspiration, and I'm back with another video, and we're in a different location of my room because usually I'm always over there where the window is, and I'm in front of the window because the window is usually like really good lighting. But I just wanted to be able to sit down and talk like on my couch. So I got this LED light that came with my GoPro, and I'm gonna sit and talk about something that I've been noticing just in general, not really like on social media or anything, but just me pondering about life and what goes on in the world and stuff. And I just came up with this. So this video is going to be about parents of Black and biracial children. Learn your child's hair and culture. So yeah, I want to discuss this because I don't have any experience with this, but I know a lot of family friends of my mom and my parents who have biracial children. Like somebody is either Black and someone else is white and their parents, and they have a biracial child, and it's a different perspective and it's a different way of life than other people who aren't dealing with any biracial or aren't dealing with multicultural children, and they just have families that look just like them and are the same cultures as them. And there's just some things that I noticed that I think that should happen. Like, I really think that if you have a biracial child, you need to know about their cultures, both cultures, whether it's white and Black, whether it's Asian and Black, you know, Spanish and Black. Like, I think everybody should know and study both cultures. And then say if you're a parent who adopts a different culture, you need to understand that culture, because I follow this other lady, not follow, I'm subscribed to Chrissy Gior, I think her name is. I'll insert her Instagram. And she is a mother of five kids, and they're all adopted. 3 are Black and 2 are, I don't know what descent they are. They look like they could be white, but they might not be white. So don't shoot me if I'm wrong. But yeah, like, even when you adopt a kid of a different culture or a child of a different culture, you should learn their culture, because like she said in one of her videos, it's not just about like loving your child, it's beyond loving. It's understanding your child and what they're going to go through, especially if you're a different culture. And you may, if you're white and your child is Black, you're gonna have a different experience, and standing with them and understanding what they go through is really important in the way that they grow up. So yeah, I have some notes here because I'm unorganized. So I want to start with some of the examples that I've seen. So a lot of times I see biracial children, they deal with this, and then also children who may be Black that are adopted by, you know, non-Black people or of a different culture dealing with this. So the hair. So obviously African American hair is, you know, it's different than a lot of other hairs, just like how other cultures' hair is different. But African American hair has so much history, good and bad, behind it. And it's very, very, very important for your child to understand their hair and embrace their hair and not feel like an alien. So I noticed that like some biracial kids, and I don't want to get anyone offended. I don't. And then this is not to make anyone offended. This is just to give some of my opinions on what I think should be going on when you have biracial kids and Black children, and just what I think would better the experience for them. So I noticed that a lot of biracial children, it depends on what they're mixed with, but if it's Black and white, your hair can come out to be any type of texture. It can look like mine, and I'm not biracial. You could still have my kind of hair and be mixed with Black and white. You can have looser texture. Sorry guys, I'm back. I actually had some camera technical difficulties, so yeah, that's been happening a lot today. But and also, side note, this right here shadow looking thing or dark thing. It's not like I wet my shirt, because that's what it kind of looks like on camera. It's legit the shadow of my camera. So if you're wondering what that is, I'm clumsy, but I didn't spill anything on myself. But anyway, where was I? Okay, I was saying, depending on what you're mixed with, if you're biracial, if it's black and white or whatever, your hair can come out to be any type of texture. But usually when it's black and white, it's going to be curly, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be a different set of hair than the society's beauty standard, which is usually straight European-like hair. It's not going to be like that. And I noticed that some of these kids who are mixed with black and white, their hair is not good. And when I say not good, I'm not being discriminatory, saying like, oh, good hair versus bad hair. I'm saying it's not in good shape, health-wise for the hair. It's usually dry, it's usually brittle, it's usually just big and undefined and just not how the hair should be. Healthy-wise. And so I noticed that, and I know a lot of people like that my mom knows and stuff. We've had conversations and they're just like, well, you know, I don't know how to do her hair. You know, her hair's not like mine, and I don't even know where to start. It's really overwhelming for me. It's a whole different thing. Yes, it is. It's a whole different thing because she's a different culture. She's a different culture than you. She's a different race than you. So it's completely different than what you're used to. But that doesn't mean that you should use that excuse to not do your child's hair and to not, because doing hair is actually personal hygiene. Like if your hair is not done and if your hair is not clean and at this like the best health state, that goes in with personal hygiene, and that goes in with childcare. So, and not saying that like if you don't know how to do your child's hair, you don't care about your child and you're not taking care of her. But by you taking the first step and actually learning how to do your child's hair, especially if they're of a different culture, that is where you need to, that's the best place to start, because you're actually caring and you're actually wanting to learn the hair and you're wanting to understand how to, you know, make your kid look good and make your kid feel good and have confidence. Because if you don't do these things, like, and you have a child that is probably mixed or African American descent, and you're probably European descent, your kid will start looking at their hair and thinking they're the problem. Because they'll look around them and they'll see your hair, which is probably different from theirs, and it might probably be more closer to the beauty standard that is pushed, and they'll be like, well, why is my hair not like that? And then they go to school and the kids that are at school are gonna have questions about their hair and their mom, and you know, your hair doesn't look like your mom, and then they're gonna look at their hair and like it's gonna be a whole cycle. So if you learn your child's hair, if you learn what it needs to be healthy and what styles that fit best for their hair, and styles that can keep up their hair and make them look good and make them feel pretty and have self-esteem, they'll be able to combat those things. Because obviously, like being a biracial child and being a black African American child, they're going to have those things happen. They're going to have people ask them those questions. But you being there as a parent who is learning and doing the best they can to learn their culture and exposing them to their culture and giving them what they need, you know, to be healthy with hair wise, they'll be able to combat that. They'll be able to stand confident, and you'll be able to stand with them, and they'll feel, you know, backed up by you. They'll feel, you know, like my mom gets me. Like they'll feel like they're understood in everything. So that's why I think, you know, learning your child's hair, learning your child's culture is important, because you want your kid to feel understood, to feel good about themselves, even if the world tells them otherwise. So that is one of my big advices for the hair for biracial, and if you have a biracial child and you have a or a Black African American descent child, you know, that you adopted or whatever. And I will insert the Chrissy Dior girl. I'll insert her videos because they're perfect for those of you who are trying to learn your child's hair and culture and everything. She does videos about all of that, and it's really helpful because, like I said, like, it's not just about love, it's about learning and understanding that your child is different from you, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn. You can expose them and expose them to their culture, understand their culture, and be there for them. So yep. And so that is pretty much it with hair that I wanted to touch on. And I said about like self-esteem and everything, I added that. So with the culture, if you have a biracial child or a Black child, you're, like I said, you're different from them. You're a different culture. You have a different skin color. Therefore, in this world, you will experience different things. And I really think that exposing them to exposing them to their culture, like say if, you know, they're mostly around white people, find an inner circle of Black friends, find a environment with like Black people or just diverse people where that they can play with Black kids and, you know, go to a Black hair salon, or, you know, just see that Black people are around and they're not the only people. And same thing with biracial children. If it even helps, put them around other biracial children, because biracial is definitely its own experience away from just being Black. And so that's what I wanted to discuss. Like, set your pride aside. You have to put your pride aside, and you can't get offended like about this. You have to be like, I want to understand my child. I want to give my child the best that I can give them on this planet. I may not understand it. I may not be going through this or have to go through what they're going to go through, but I want to be there for them when it happens. I want to understand when they tell me the things that they deal with. So, you know, this is controversial what I'm about to say, but if you want to not watch the video, then you can do so. But if you're a white parent with a Black child or a biracial child, you gotta realize that you have to realize your privilege, your white privilege, and you have to set aside your pride, and you have to say, I'm privileged and my child's gonna go through things that I don't have to go through. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna research, I'm going to inquire and learn, and when they're telling me something, I'm gonna be there to listen. And, you know, because when your child grows up, they might deal with police brutality. And I remember talking to someone close to me and my mom, and, you know, the mother was white and the father's Black. Their children are all biracial, and they were talking about how, like, I think one of them got stopped by the cops. I think it was the son, and the son was, and the mom was like, well, that didn't happen to me today, or whatever. That never happens to me when I go that way, or whatever, or when I walk past them, or whatever. Something happened. It just had to do with the cops. And the dad said, well, honey, you're white. You know, it's not the same for you. And that is something, and it's hard for a lot of people to understand. It really is. It's hard to put the pride away. It's hard for them not to be offended, and not to see that it's not about trying to offend people. It's about trying to have them understand how the world was already set up. She's like, that never happened to me. And then he said, well, honey, you're white. You know, our son is a Black man. It's gonna happen, and it might not happen to you. So just understanding that you can be there for your child. Like, you don't want your child to go through police brutality or racism, and then they come home and they want to vent about it and they want something done about it, and you don't understand, and you're telling them that that doesn't exist. So that's where you have to evaluate yourself and see like, what am what do I need to do? What do I need to change? What do I need to start doing to really be there for my child? And not saying you're not there and you don't love them, but it's something that you have to understand, that you're two different cultures, and you have to be willing to want to understand and be open-minded, and always be open-minded to learning something new, because that's what your life is going to be consisted of. You're always going to be learning something new when you have different cultures and different races in your family in the same home as you. So that's what I wanted to just touch on, guys. I don't know if I got to everything, but I just wanted to touch on those things. Hair, you know, culture, understanding that is important. It's going to make your child have a self-esteem, you know, like it's going to make your child have good self-esteem. It's going to make them love themselves, be confident in themselves, no matter what the world may say to them. Even if someone says, oh, your mom's white and you're black, or you're adopted and you're black, you know, instill in them what to say to that, you know, instill in them the confidence and the understanding of their situation, but a way that they can respond to let that person know, yeah, you know, I do come from, you know, a family of a different race to me, but that doesn't make them love me any less. That doesn't make them understand my experience less. And, you know, if your family loves you, then they love you, and that's all that matters. So, you know, that's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to break that up, and I wanted to just bring up the importance of, you don't want your child who is a different race to feel alienated, to feel like they're not beautiful, they're not accepted in the world, because that's how the world is gonna make them feel sometimes. And if you have this type of living situation, or you have biracial child or African American child, it's important to just be there for them. And as long as they have someone that's there and that's understanding, and that's willing to understand, they're gonna grow up to be the black men and women that they should be, and that will lead this world into a better place. So yeah, guys, I hope this wasn't a huge big rant. I hope I got to like some points. And since we're talking about like biracial kids, and I think, is anyone, like, if I'm doing good at this, like explaining and bringing up these topics, put in the comments if I should keep talking about these type of things, because I kind of wanted to do a video on biracial children and biracial people in general. And I'm not even biracial, but I'm just interested in that, because I'm interested in the different ways, like, you know, it affects both communities, like, that they're from, you know. So if you want to see any more of those videos, and you think I do well with this and I'm not just rambling, put in the comments on what you would want to see. And since I'm talking about race and everything like that, I'm going to list a couple of movements and some information where you can help the black community and all the things that are going on, because this world is really crazy right now. So I'm going to put links down for Black Lives Matter if you want to help out with that, for the case of Breonna Taylor that needs to be helped. And then SARS, if you guys know what's going on with SARS in Nigeria, I can put links down to see and to show you what you can do to help the community in that way too. Guys, we just need help. We need open-minded people. We need everyone to put their pride aside and just look at the bigger picture and see what's going on, so that we can just move on into more positivity, into progression in this world when it comes to race. So, you know what you guys can do, just like and subscribe to this video if you liked it, and remember to click the bell if you want to keep seeing videos that I post and being notified when I post them. Remember to follow me on Instagram at Whitspiration and on Twitter at Whitspiration. And I hope to see you guys soon. I didn't wear makeup today, guys, I'm sorry, and I hope that I don't look too crusty. But yeah, guys, I'll be coming back with more videos very soon, and have a good day. Bye.